Everyone, thank you for joining me for another day of storytelling where I read a part of a chapter every day until the last chapter of the book. And I just wanted to let you know that I learned that my book will be shipping on Monday. I don't have an ETA for arrival yet, but it should be any day now. So if you like to pre-order the book, please go to my website at parastooemami.com. And today I'll be reading from chapter 5. It starts with my quote, "You're not tired, you're in sensory detox. Pay attention to your body and clear your negative energy daily." Chapter 5, Navigating Overstimulation and Energy Overload. Overstimulation, when we have no control over it, can be exhausting. But it's in these moments we learn to slow down, process, and ultimately grow. This is a quote from Arianna Huffington. The second aspect of being a highly sensitive person is overstimulation. In this chapter, I will describe this aspect and show how it too can be transformed into another superpower. Your body gives you cues about overstimulation. Do you often feel drained or exhausted after spending time in busy or noisy environments? When you're overstimulated, do you find it difficult to focus on tasks or conversations? Do you need time alone to recharge after being exposed to overwhelming sensory stimuli? Do certain environments, crowded spaces, bright lights, or loud sounds leave you feeling physically uncomfortable or anxious? When you're feeling overstimulated, do you experience heightened emotions such as irritability? For a highly sensitive person, overstimulation is when their nervous system is flooded by more sensory input than they can process, creating an overload of emotions, thoughts, or physical sensations. This can lead to a sense of being on edge, anxious, or mentally fatigued. And it often requires a period of withdrawal or quiet time to restore balance. My client Sophia, a highly sensitive person who always struggled with overstimulation as a child, often found herself overwhelmed in noisy environments like crowded parties or bustling city streets. The bright lights, the overlapping voices, and the constant motion made her feel like her mind was in overdrive, unable to find peace. She would retreat to her room, exhausted and irritated, wondering why she couldn't handle the world the way others seemed to. At work, meetings and social events left her drained, and she'd often find herself avoiding activities, fearing the inevitable, overwhelming feelings that would follow. When I first started working with Sophia, I asked her to start paying attention to the cues her body gives her so she can start taking action to balance her nervous system before she exploded like a volcano. Sophia was not aware her body was intelligent enough to give her cues. Once she started paying attention, she realized her body actually gave her cues pretty early on. And if she listened to the cues, she could prevent overstimulation altogether, or at least lessen its physical and emotional effects. When Sophia started paying attention to the cues her body gave her, things began to change. She noticed the tension in her shoulders and the rapid beating of her heart as the first signs of overstimulation. Instead of pushing through it, she learned to pause, recognizing these physical signals were her body's way of saying, I need a break. She began practicing grounding techniques such as deep breathing, mindfulness, visualization, and meditation, while also allowing herself the space and time her body needed to retreat before reaching full-blown overstimulation. Rather than feeling guilty for needing time alone, she started to see it as an essential part of her well-being, not a weakness. Sophia came to understand that when she gave herself the time and space to regulate her nervous system, everyone around her felt the positive ripple effect. What once triggered guilt transformed into clarity. Caring for herself wasn't selfish, it was a gift to everyone. A win-win, not just for her, but for all. Over time, Sophia became more attuned to her inner rhythms. She knew when she could push herself to engage in social settings and when she needed to withdraw to recharge. This self-awareness helped her create a more balanced life where overstimulation no longer felt like an insurmountable challenge. By listening to her body and respecting her needs, Sophia transformed her experience of sensitivity from frustration to empowerment, allowing her to live fully without sacrificing her well-being. So now I want you to write in the comments and answer these 3 questions. Describe the physical sensation or emotions you experienced when you begin to feel overstimulated. How do you typically respond when you realize you're getting overstimulated? And third, what strategies or practices have you found helpful in managing or preventing overstimulation? I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked my video, please go ahead and like it and subscribe to my channel. And please forward this video to anyone who might find it useful. And also, if you want to work with me on a one-on-one basis, I am a coach to highly sensitive people, and I cover 4 areas of life. One is just general life coaching, one is career coaching, relationship coaching, and parenting coaching. And I do offer the first session as a complimentary session, and you can find the link to my calendar in the description. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you in the next video.